Exactly.
You're not broadcasting yet.
Oh, well, I was just saying.
All right. Hi, Theresa Campbell here. V-Next Entertainment, and have a special broadcast tonight. I know it's been a minute, and anyway.
My name's Richard Thomas from Cooks, in case you didn't know. I'm the operations manager here. Most of the time I'm also known as Chop Liver, though. It's mostly about Teresa.
So, it is election season, and a lot is happening in America when it comes to certain hashtags. As you may know, one of the big hashtags now is Black Lives Matter, and last night was the awards program for Black Girls Rock, and that's also a very big hashtag, very popular hashtag. And
well, my last night hashtag was walking dead, so I'm sure.
I am a black female, as you can see.
And I'm a white male, but I'm not allowed to tell you that because,
he doesn't have a hashtag.
No, I don't. And it'd be racist if I did have one, so I'm just sitting over here.
And this is what we want to talk about. Again, is this perception of when I say Black Girls Rock, or even I am a member of Black Girls Run, I have my own hashtag Black Girl Business, doesn't really, in my mind, take away from anybody else. It doesn't, when I say Black Girls Rock, take away from anyone else. Well, Richard and I just had a fabulous Saturday afternoon, evening, as you can tell, having some
good dialogue.
Good dialogue and cocktails. And we got into this conversation about why, when I say Black Girls Rock or Black Girls Run or Black Lives Matter, do people get so freaking upset? It's, to me, doesn't, well, of course, doesn't bother me at all. I actually get kicked out of it.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Okay, but we got into this great dialogue about why people really do get upset. So, Richard.
Yes.
Black Lives Matter. We'll stick with Black Girls Rock for now.
Okay.
Well, which one do you want to talk about? Black Lives Matter.
You make the choice because I can't make the choice.
No. Which one?
We'll talk about Black Girls Rock.
Oh, that's not really what you want to talk about. We'll talk about Black Lives Matter. Okay.
We'll talk
so
about
when
that.
I say Black Lives Matter, why do people get upset, Richard?
Because all lives matter, Teresa.
Okay. And just because I say Black Girls Rock doesn't take away from anybody else's life. Their life still matters as much, right?
Okay, hearkening back to the conversation that we were having earlier, it was about, I guess you could say, both about power and about how there's this limited resource called attention. And by the Black Lives Matter movement pointing more of the limited resource known as attention their way, they were reducing the attention given to any other group or hashtag, about their own little social issue.
Okay, so because I say Black Lives Matter, other people feel like we're taking away from them.
You are.
It's crazy.
No, it's not.
It's bananas.
No, it's not bananas. at all.
Why?
Because there's only a certain amount of hashtags
So
that can trend on Twitter.
why does, what?
Yes. Twitter top 10. Okay. What does it take to be on the Twitter top 10?
So
you had to, in order for you to be on the top 10, you had to knock out somebody else who was no
and
longer
just
on the top 10.
because Black Lives Matter, Black Girls Rock was in top 10,
Yeah.
and somebody else was knocked off,
Yeah.
means we're taking away from somebody else.
Exactly.
That's ludicrous.
No, it's not.
Just because
You're
I
taking
affirm.
away from-
So here's what we were talking about before. Just because I affirm myself doesn't mean I defirm someone else. Richard disagrees.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why?
because we live in a world of limited resources, and only so many people could be at the top.
Okay. Personal problem.
No, it's not a personal problem. The example we were just having before we started this video was that if you gave everyone 10 acres of land...
His analogy, not mine.
Yes, my analogy. If you gave everyone 10 acres of land, they can't all be the same because there's not the same type of land on the earth. Some are in the mountains, some are in the desert, some are in the valleys, some have nice rivers, some are in China next to those very polluted rivers. You know, I don't want any land over in Beijing because I would have to wear a mask. But if I had a nice, piece of land up in the Alps, maybe that would be nicer air, but, I couldn't really grow any food there either.
You divert.
So you would have to divert. So I would have to trade my land for somebody else's land. But who would find value in, in the French Alps?
All right. The moral of the story is, just because I say black girls rock doesn't take from any other group of girls. It doesn't take away from any other group of women.
Yes,
it doesn't devalue them or defirm them anymore.
Yes, it does.
Why?
Because by affirming yourself, you're de-affirming someone else. Just by the very nature of putting all eyes on you, you're taking away eyes from somebody else.
I'll tell you one of the things that we talked about on the way home. There is no white men run.
No.
There is no white men rock.
No.
White women rock.
No.
White women run.
No.
And when I affirm black girls rock, black girls run, black girl business, black girl magic, after so many years of not having that, other groups feel like, whoa, wait a second, you're getting all of the attention now. What about me? As black women, we feel like, it's our time. It's our time to really have this attention. But just because we are having this attention doesn't mean that I think any less of any other group or try to take away power from any other group. However, other groups feel that way. Other groups feel like by me saying black girls rock, I'm saying white women rock less. They may. No, I'm sorry.
I call a loaded question, but all right. So let me go into say I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm going to do the very political stance of I vouch for no one. Okay.
Oh no, no.
Okay, no.
That's not the conversation we were having.
Wait. Well, I have to protect my own interest here. Because I'm a white male and I'm not allowed to talk about racial things in 2016.
That's not true. That's what this is all about. That's not true.
Okay.
We have the conversation we were having
I'm a Democrat
earlier.
and I'm not voting for Donald Trump either, so I can't, go off on that tangent. So I'm playing the devil's advocate here. What was the question again?
I'm saying just because we say black girls rock does not take away from another group. And white men don't have that. I get it. White men don't have white men rock. White men run. But they've been doing that for like 1,000+ years. So what? So what in this day and time, for a span of a couple of years, black women have decided I don't need anybody else to affirm myself. I affirm me.
Yeah.
And what we realize as black women is that nobody else gives me my power. I give me my power. And just because I give me my power...
Power is something you take away from somebody else.
How is that possible?
What do you mean, how is that possible?
How do I take away power from somebody else when I affirm myself?
Okay, because they're not being affirmed as much as they were anymore.
And I say that logic is a fallacy. Just because I affirm myself doesn't mean I take away from somebody else.
Okay.
I don't take away power from somebody else just because I affirm myself.
We'll go to the other example that you were talking about. You were telling me about your grandmother. You want to tell me about your grandmother?
Okay, so my grandmom used to have to go to the back door of houses.
Okay,
She was...
Let me pause you there.
Okay.
So back then, white people were affirmed their power simply by having a black woman always have to use the back door of their house.
Yes.
Do the black people use the back door of their house anymore?
Well, black women don't clean houses anymore. Not in that way. Not in that way.
Okay, but if they did, let's say they had Molly maid or something, they would go through the front door.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The white person's power over the black person in that capacity does not exist anymore. True or not true?
Yes, it's true.
Okay.
It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. So it was reduced and it was lessened. Maybe they still have power over, African Americans in other ways, in other forms, in other capacities, but not in the way of saying you need to walk through the back door.
Okay.
They will receive you through the front door now.
Okay.
They may not consider you to be an equal, when you're applying for a business loan or college tuition or anything else, but they will at least, open the door and say, come on in.
Okay. Minimum requirements.
Minimum requirements. So you altered the dynamics of power and you raised the bar. Yes?
No.
What do you mean no?
Well, because that isn't necessarily raising the bar. That's leveling the playing field.
It raised the bar. Raising the bar for you is leveling the playing field.
Right. So it's always apples and oranges. It's always others seeing it as apples, us seeing it as oranges, in the sense that we should have always been able to go through the front door.
Yeah.
So just by mere fact that now we don't have to even worry about going through the back door isn't necessarily a feather in our hat. It's just like, oh, okay, fine.
Yeah,
now
right.
we got that.
You should have had that from day one.
Right.
But America is a racist country and we have a racist past. And
You said it, not me.
Oh, well, I'd be the first to say it. I mean, my father's side came from Poland during, before World War II, and my mother's side has roots going back to the War of 1812.
Oh, what did she call herself?
Daughters of Liberty.
Yes, honey.
Yes, so
Very proud.
I'm a descendant of a daughter of liberty.
Very proud. Kudos.
On my mother's side,
Hey,
anyway.
Judy. Anyway, love her to pieces. The moral of this conversation is that the grass is not always greener on the other side.
No.
People always have a perception that they've grown up with.
Mm-hmm.
And really, this is about dialogue and open communication, not judging, not putting your perception on others, and really talking to the person and asking them why they feel the way they feel. Richard and I have been together for how long now?
4 years?
And he always amazes me. Like, this conversation has really floored me. And I'm just like, wow, really?
Yeah, it's been in there the whole time.
Whatever. So, ask the questions, be tough, be loving, but be tough, and know that just because, people may not agree with you doesn't mean that their perception is wrong.
Yeah, of course
It's just...
I mean,
it's just a different perception.
If you're here and you want to be there, you got to lower them in order for you to go up.
Whatever.
This is a level playing field. If this is what it was before, and this is what you want, then there's only a couple ways for this to happen. If it's here, they lower down, let's reset, or you go up, or, you go somewhere in between.
He's awesome. So we will be back with another video. We're going to do this more frequently during the election season. Say hello to Mr. Mac.
Mr. Machiavelli.
He's a ham. All right. And we'll do more. If you want us to talk about a specific topic, Machiavelli. All right. So he and I don't see eye to eye on everything, so we'll definitely keep it real. And we will come back maybe with a new, when there's a debate. I'm sure Hillary and...
There's always a debate.
Anyway, Hillary and Bernie will definitely be at it. So this is all about politics, hot topics, modern issues. Black Lives Matter.
And feel the burn.
Whatever.
Hillary supporter. Hillary supporter.
Okay.